Ah, there you are. Hello and welcome. I'm the awful chef, and I'm hungry, so I'd better make something to eat. Today's dish is more about who you're with than what you're making. It can literally take either 5 minutes or upwards of 5 hours, depending upon who you're with and what you're enjoying. 5-minute dish, well, it's easy. Take some flour tortillas, stuff them with some frozen spinach that you thawed out and drained, and cover it with cream of chicken soup, also known as a spinach crepe. It's that simple. Or you can make the crepes by hand, which of course is completely invisible in this horrible light that I have in this cheap camera. You can cook up a pound of spinach. Oh my heavens, that smells amazing. You'll notice the onions. The onions were diced fine, cooked on low heat for half an hour with just some olive oil, and then some salt was added, and then an entire pound of spinach. That's right, an entire pound of spinach was thrown in, handful at a time, and sauteed down to what you just saw, producing a truly amazing flavor and smell that made everybody in the house hungry. And now, we have to make the bechamel. I'm going to be truly evil tonight. This is a skill. I first blundered into my brown roux bechamel by accident while making food from the White Trash Cookbook. Yes, a delightful thrift store find. Today we are going to make a brown roux bechamel, and because we are semi-vegetarian, it is going to be flavored with half a can of big box store canned chicken. So I have a very warm pan, and this is going to be magic, because what happens once the flour browns properly is all the good things of bread and butter. Think toast with perfectly melted butter. So, oil. Heating in a pan. And this is one of those magic moments where you change the world. A slug of flour approximately equivalent to the oil. And now one mixes. And I will keep your attention while I do this, because this is very serious cooking. This is one of those things where it either goes all right, or you have a food that's, yeah, I can eat that. So, here we have a white roux. A perfectly light, with a little clump of flour, roux that will thicken a sauce nicely. I am continuing to stir this and watch it closely. Now, a classic roux can be made with butter. I'm adding more flour because that just was not enough for what we're going to be doing tonight. There. And it's still early in the game, so I can get away with it. As stated, there we go. That's properly thick. You can see that we are creating snail trails through the fat and flour. Okay, it is still very much a raw roux. So yes, a butter roux works, but you have to keep in mind that butter browns as well. And so it becomes very hard to see what exactly is happening if the butter browning competes with the flour browning. Okay, we are creating a delightful set of bubbles. And yes, we have plenty of flour at this point. I will keep you here. This will be a long show. I'm sorry. But if you can master this, your world will literally change. Yes, my first brown roux was entirely by accident. As I disappear, oh, look at my exciting kitchen. I threw flour in a pan with some oil, turned on the heat, and turned my back. And very shortly drove the entire house insane with a smell that went straight to the base of the brain. And that is what one accomplishes with a good brown roux. As you observe my back, I am watching this like a hawk. That is all-purpose flour and simple refined olive oil. And it is creating a taste basis. Okay, that needs to be less stirred for a moment. Because I'm also going to be using Swiss cheese in my roux. Yes, that's my hand. I am such a skilled cinematographer, it just boggles my mind. Okay. So, watching this very carefully, it is thickening and bubbling very lightly. Okay, good. I have a little Swiss cheese. I'll make more of that for the real dinner, but for the show, that's plenty. Yes, cooking is often very exciting as you wait for food to brown properly. Okay, we are getting a smell. I don't know how to describe this. It's sort of like bread, which of course is what one would expect from cooking flour. The color, oh, the color is delightfully darkening. Let's see here. Hopefully I won't pour any on the keyboard. Okay, I have created a delightful tan roux. A tan roux basis for my bechamel. And it is not exactly thick. As I drag the spatula across, it does leave a bit of a snail trail, but then that fills in quickly. So, key to a bechamel is the dairy. A little bit of milk. That's right. It's a very hot fat sauce, and I threw cold milk into it. You'll note the pan is not on the heat. Okay. it is now the texture of library paste. Let me show you this. Hopefully that comes through. You can see that my thin sauce, to which I added liquid, is now very thick. You'll notice I am not putting it on the heat yet. So let's turn that paste into a sauce. More milk. Yes, this is a long show because we're making a very classic bechamel sauce, the old-fashioned way. Okay, that is successfully thinned. And you will notice we are still not on the heat. A little more milk. Yes, this must be done step at a time. And yes, you can substitute Campbell's cream of chicken soup for this if you absolutely are in a hurry. But if you're not, what you will make is the deepest white sauce. Okay, we now have an appropriately thinned out, but still appropriately thick, bechamel. Let's have a taste. Oh, that definitely needs to cook. A little bit of salt won't hurt. A little bit of pepper. Technically, you should use white pepper. I use black. And a little bit of nutmeg. Do not overdo the nutmeg. How do I know this? Trust me, it was an accident. What we are doing now is cooking the milk solids into a sauce. The brown butter, that's what we are mimicking as I go rummaging through a drawer in front of the camera. I had everything laid out, didn't you know that? So a little nutmeg, just a couple of grinds. Okay, let's pull that off the sauce so it doesn't overcook. Yes, I'm the most organized cook on the earth. If you want proof of that, just watch me reach into cabinets for everything that I should have pulled out earlier. Okay. Stirring, stirring, off heat because heat control is important. Okay. Oh my, that's rich. I'm going to thin it out with some chicken stock. Yes, you can cheat with chicken stock. And that way you keep it from becoming too insanely rich. Oh yes, chicken stock. And back on the heat. Let's get that stirred up and integrated. Okay, a little bit of Swiss cheese. And now the magic ingredient. Ordinarily, if you were putting chicken on a crepe, you'd put chicken inside the crepe. But we are using so little chicken that I'm making chicken flavored sauce. That's why I joked about cream of chicken soup. So approximately half a can of canned chicken from a store that sells food at a discount. And some juice. And now we have cream of chicken soup. Also known as chicken meat in a strong bechamel that is too hot. So that is effectively it. Oh my God. So let me show you what we have. Plate and crepe and reaching in with my hand, a little bit of spinach. Again, the onions cooked for half an hour before I added the actual fresh spinach itself. And then I cooked down an entire pound of spinach for 2 people. It sounds excessive, and it is, but spinach tends to cook down like that. So, crepe stuffed with spinach. The joy of having a limited audience to cook for. A little bit of, oh heavens, that's cheesy. Chicken laced bechamel and Swiss cheese on top. There we have an entirely invisible spinach crepe with chicken and cheese bechamel. As stated, this can be done with flour tortillas, frozen spinach, and cream of chicken soup. Or you can do it the right way. Once in your life, I encourage you to make crepes. They are simple, they are no fuss. And it will be very educational about many, many things. So that's it. Please subscribe. I'm the Awful Chef. You want to eat, you better cook something. This is a dish you can literally spend 5 hours making. Sipping wine, talking to someone you love, waiting for this to cook, that to cool, batter to settle, etc. Or you can just make it quick when you get home from work and you're tired. That's it. Thank you. Please subscribe. I hope you're enjoying this too.